Welcome back to Let's Talk Harlingen. I'm Mayor Norma Sepulveda.
And I'm Cassandra Concilio.
We're here to keep you updated, informed, and connected to your city.
Let's get into it.
And in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Harlingen, and welcome back to Let's Talk Harlingen. This is going to be an amazing episode. Today is all about Visit Harlingen and Riofest that's happening this weekend. You are very familiar with my co-host, Cassandra from Visit Harlingen, but today we have also asked Edgar to join us. Hey, Edgar.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It's really interesting to be on this side of the camera. So for everybody who's watching, I'm normally on the opposite side of the camera, and now I'm in front of the camera, so it's a bit of an adjustment, but I think I'll do all right.
So you kind of help us. So if there's something wrong or we look a little odd, then it's because Edgar's on this side of the camera instead of the other side.
Yeah.
No, but all joking aside, we do have a jam-packed episode for today.
Yes.
So we want to get into it right away. Both of you live and breathe Visit Harlingen every single day here in this beautiful building. Tell us about what your department does. We'll start with you, Cassandra.
I love that Edgar's here with me because sometimes I say we, and I literally mean me and Edgar, not me and my husband. And so I really much refer to us as a we because we do
He's your
everything.
work husband.
Yeah, well, yes, we do everything together. We spend 8 hours together and we even go to lunch together. So we are all the time together. But we are focused 100% on bringing travel and tourism to Harlingen. And, sometimes people say like, why don't you fill a pothole with the money instead of doing this concert? Or why don't you do this? And that is because we have two very separate pots of money that these things are used for. And, we can talk about like, why don't use the money for this or why not use the money for that? But in reality, the money that we use has to be used to promote travel and tourism into the city of Harlingen. It's called hot tax, right? So this is taxes that we collect at the city of Harlingen from when somebody stays in a hotel, right? So I always say this, right? You go to a hotel and it says $100 outside, but when it comes to paying the bill, it's $125. And you're like, well, where does this money go? And from that money, the city of Harlingen collects 6%, the state of Texas collects 7%, and the county collects 2%. So from that money, we get it, and it's about a little over a $1.something million. We don't use all that $1.3 million. There's other people that get some of that budget. But from that budget, we're able to promote travel and tourism by creating events that are large scale. Some of the biggest events that we have, like Riofest, we really try to focus in on ones that bring people from out of the community to stay in the hotels. So sometimes people are like, well, why don't you do this little thing or why don't you do that? And we always want to give back to the community, but we think of it in a broader sense of the word, where ultimately, if you stay here, we get money from you. So that's what we want. So Edgar has really focused in on 4 of our major events that he can kind of tell us about. And so those 4 events are things that we know attract people to stay in the city of Harlingen. We know it promotes tourism. We know that. And so those are the ones that we've honed in on and we really try to focus all of our energy towards. And the one that's coming up is Riofest. And this is something that is pretty much like a nostalgic feeling for a lot of people. We bringing it back. It was gone for a little while, and we can understand why, because it's very hard to produce. But ultimately, it's for the community. It is for the surrounding communities, and it's for people to come in and enjoy the city of Harlingen. We're really putting a spotlight on everything we have to offer. And Edgar, I really want us to talk about our bigger one that starts off the year is like the Harlingen Marathon.
Oh, yeah. So the Harlingen Marathon, like Cassandra mentioned, our main goal and mission is to drive travel and tourism into the city, right? And so one of our more successful events, I think, is the Harlingen Marathon. Absolutely. Most people think that just because you're doing the race day on Sunday, it's a 1-day event, but it's really a 3-day event when you think about it. We have pack and pickup on Friday, pack and pickup on Saturday, and then the race day, right? So that event really does its job of putting people in our hotels, right? And something that makes the Harlingen Marathon so attractive is the fact that it's a Boston Marathon qualifying race. So we get runners from everywhere. We've had people come from Europe, from Canada, from Mexico, all across the US. And I think the Harlingen Marathon is probably one of my favorite events, especially just because you get that trophy at the end of it, right? You have that big giant medal, that big custom medal that we get for the runners. And it's just a really special event. And I think that's one of our more successful events when it comes to our goal and mission for Visit Harlingen, right? Travel and tourism. And so it really brings in thousands of people.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know I've gone year after year. There's lots of energy. I know that it is stressful because it's a lot of work to put on. And I see that, we've got people with flags, from where they're coming
Yeah.
from. And it's an exciting event. And definitely that Boston qualifier makes it one of those destination type of
Hmm.
races. Like, oh, I want to go here. And then they're looking at the lay of the land, right? And say, oh, okay, this is a Boston qualifier and it's pretty flat. This is something that I want to try this race because I have a better opportunity versus like, San Antonio has all those hills and stuff
Yeah.
within their races. And so I know, not lately, but I've done quite a few marathons myself. And that is one of the keys. It's like, is it going to be an easy run and easy in terms of a flat land, and also having those stations along the way. And Harlingen really comes out, the community comes out, the kids come out. There's lots of support along the route for the marathon. Cassandra mentioned that you have about 4 major events per year. What are the other events?
Yeah, so we start the year off with the Harlingen Marathon, and then our following event is Brews and Tunes. And what makes that one so special is we attract, or not that we attract, right, but we bring in breweries from across the state of Texas.
Nice.
So some of these things you can't just get like at the store quick and easy, right? But we bring breweries from across Texas. And so I think that's what draws a lot of people in. And I think that's the appeal for that. Not to mention, right, we put on a great concert. But I think it's one of those like really special events. And I think also when it comes to working on this event, we really try to, since it is new, we really try to build the brand of this event. And so something that we always hear on social media or feedback from the community is they want a different type of event from what they normally get throughout the Rio Grande Valley, right? And so we try to provide that with this, with Brews and Tunes. It's a beer fest event, and so we try to make the music a little bit cooler and a little bit hipper, and the marketing is a little bit more fun and pops of color, and so we really have a lot of fun with that event. And then also the next event we have after that is our Freedom Fest event, right? And that is a huge event. We've seen so much success come from that event. That is one of our free events. And so it's our 4th of July celebration. And we really host a giant concert with that. And we always jam pack the music lineup
Yes.
for Freedom Fest. And we really see a great turnout. And even when you're at these events and you're talking to the crowd, you're talking to the people, and you hear people coming from just all over the place, all over Texas to come and see these bands. And so it really is remarkable, the amount of visitors that we get with an event like Freedom Fest because it is free. And then, of course, we have our Super Bowl of events, which we like to call Riofest. And Riofest is a 2-day festival. I think it's one of the only 2-day festivals in Harlingen. And Riofest is a celebration of art, music, and culture. And so you really get to see that represented throughout the event, right? We host a large 2-day concert event. We host an art competition inside of the event as well. And we also get to provide for the art competition. So we partnered with HCISD and the students over there, and they get to put on this amazing creative art gallery inside of the event. But it doesn't just stop there, right? We are able to give back to the students through sponsorships, and we're able to provide those students with a scholarship, right? Like, I mean, it's just an amazing event and experience for the community, and it really draws in a lot of people into the city with that, and you get to see the community being represented within that event, so it's great.
I really want to talk about the art gallery at HCISD put on an art competition, and the winners, actually all of them are going to be displayed at Casa de Amistad on Friday and Saturday. So you can go in and see what the kids have been working on. And so not only do they get to, show, this is what I do, this is what I can do, but they can win money. So Edgar mentioned HEB partnered with us, but they actually partnered with us for $5,000. So kids are going to walk away with big checks, and we love
I
to
love
give
it.
a little 5-year-old a big check. It's because that we want to encourage everybody that you can win a scholarship for being artistic. You can win a scholarship in not just football or, baseball or whatever. There's other routes of doing that. So we just want to encourage like all the little artists out there from, first grade all the way to high school, that they can win money. And thankfully HEB was able to give us that check for them. But we also have a fun little thing at the art gallery that if you did not participate, let's say maybe you're not in art this semester or something, we're going to have canvas and we're going to have some paints there at the Casa de Amistad. So you can still participate. It's called Art in Action at the Casa de Amistad, and you're able to paint whatever you'd like on the canvas that we provide. We have some acrylic paints as well. And so you can participate. Your children can participate if they were not able to, and take back home a little piece of Riofest with you. So I think it's really cute.
I love it. I know everybody's super excited for Riofest this weekend. And then we've got our special guest that's going to be here in just a few minutes that I am super excited about. But I did want the community to really have an understanding of how these events are put on. Sitting in the mayor's seat, I hear everything, right? I get a lot of questions and emails and phone calls and text messages, and I get a ton of instant messages on Facebook, but I can't get to, it's just too many to get to. And so I always tell people, please don't message me on Facebook. Send me an email. Send me an email. And if it is, and Edgar knows this, if it's a question about Riofest, y'all are the ones that have all the answers. So by the time I get to it, then, I'm just forwarding it over to y'all. But I wanted to really take just a minute or two before we get into our exciting next segment here with our celebrity guest, to really talk about what you mentioned on how Visit Harlingen is funded, because I think it's important for the community to, you guys are always telling people, I know I am, but here's another platform and an opportunity to really just talk to people about the hot tax funds everything within Visit Harlingen, from staff salaries to the events that you put on, to the marketing that you do, everything. So no tax dollars go to Visit Harlingen. So those people that are telling me my tax dollars are paying your salaries, really, that's not the case. It's the visitor that comes to the city of Harlingen. That's why we want to roll the red carpet out for our guests, right? When they come into Harlingen, we want them to stay in our hotels, that we want them to be eating at our restaurants, shopping in our businesses, because that's how we have this opportunity. And not every community has a CVB. Is that correct?
Correct. So we have about 18 hotels in the city of Harlingen. We have a little over 1,800 hotel rooms in the city of Harlingen. And if you stay in those, right, you could do a staycation if you'd want. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned, those sales tax dollars are not a part of it. This is only the hot tax dollars that you are charged after. So the only way we are funded is if somebody stays in a hotel room. If one year, right, like we had COVID, where we did not have anybody stay in our hotel room, thankfully we had fund balance to be able to cover our salaries and overhead that we have.
Expenses.
But like you mentioned, our department is really one of the exceptions to the rule, where we have 3 people. We also have Sylvia. Mm-hmm. She's great. So it's just us 3 that really focus on using these hot tax dollars for the travel and tourism aspect of marketing for our city.
Right.
So we only focus on the hot tax dollars. We are not funded by sales tax dollars. We would never use general fund dollars for a concert at that nature. This is purely hot taxes that are used for concerts.
I think, again, that's just really important because, there are needs in the community.
Correct.
We went over the budget in a prior episode and talked about all the needs and how we couldn't fill all of them. You know, you can't take the $1 million out of the CBB and say, oh, I'm going to go, make this improvement in the community, because it's not only is it you don't want to be able to do that, you can't do that. It is
No.
illegal. You have to use those dollars for these purposes. And one of the things that y'all support is the birding festival, right?
Correct.
And that's coming up in November. So you want to take a moment to talk about that?
Well, so we get the city collects over $1 million of hotel motel tax, but we do not use the full money. So part of it goes to the birding festival, the Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival. It is in Harlingen. It's been in Harlingen for over 20 years. It attracts thousands of birders to the city of Harlingen. I know that the hotels are full in the second week of November because of the birders, because Harlingen is located in a very special place in the Rio Grande Valley where the migration paths cross. And the birding festival people decided that this is where we're going to put a big expo. We're going to attract all the birds to Harlingen and show them what we have and what we have to offer here, which is the specialty birds. And so we as a department could not obviously do it. We're just 3 people, but there's some very knowledgeable birding people in our community that are built up the Rio Grande Valley Birding Association. And they put together the event, but they do need a little extra funding. So that's where the hot tax comes in. There are some events in the city of Harlingen that do qualify for money from the hot taxes. And we always ask them to email us, to call us, and they get to know them a little bit. Okay, so let's say you have an event for 50 people, but they're all going to stay with their mom and dad, or, so that event really probably wouldn't qualify as a grant from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But there are people that say, actually, we're going to have this convention and we're using 50 rooms for 2 nights. What can you give us? And that's where we figure it out. There's tennis tournaments that happen in Harlingen. We are getting more conventions. We're actually going to have the firefighter pension convention. Well, that sounds funny. Next year. So people are starting to use our city as a convention, and they need to know that they can apply with us. We have an application for funds, whether it be maybe just promotional items, or we print stuff for them, or we get them a hotel discount. We really want to be a source for any event that's happening in Harlingen. Maybe I'm not able to say, yes, here's a $5,000 check, because you don't meet the requirements. But we're able to say, this is where you can host a meeting. This is where you can stay that night. This is a caterer that you can use. This is a transportation person that you can use. We have all of those connections, and we really just want to bridge the gap between somebody having an event in Harlingen and somebody wanting to have an event in Harlingen and the people of Harlingen. So it's really, we are just want to be a conduit sometimes.
That's awesome. And I think it's important for the community to know, the great work that y'all are doing and bringing people into our community. We've always, I know that we talk about this all the time, how we want to make Harlingen a destination city. We've got all these amazing trails. We have a ton of parks, lots of activities, and really a family-friendly environment. And so I think that y'all are really instrumental in making sure that that vision really comes to fruition, right? That's something that the commission really is working towards collectively, right, with all of the departments. So Edgar, tell me, what do you think about this lineup for Riofest?
I am so excited for this lineup. It is going to be, first of all, it's jam packed, right? So we have our Tejano on Friday night. We have our country on Saturday night. So there's something for everyone at Riofest. But Friday night, we're kicking it off with the Emilio Navaida tribute band. And what's really going to make that experience so special is those are Emilio Navaida's sons.
I know.
So it's going to be really exciting to see them on stage singing his songs, singing their songs, and it's just going to be a really great experience. So if you guys haven't already heard yet, we just recently added La Mafia to our lineup. So we're really excited to host them at Riofest. And so they will be going on stage at 7:00 on Friday. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, harlingenriofest.com. Shameless plug. And then we also have Siggno headlining Friday night, he was pretty much raised in Harlingen, and I believe he might still currently be living in Harlingen. You'll have to find out later in the episode. So Friday is jam-packed with our music lineup. And then Saturday, we're starting the day off with HCISD students. So we have a lineup of HCISD kids performing their dances, choir, orchestra. They're also performing a little glimpse into their show that they're hosting this year, Little Shop of Horrors. And so they're going to be performing a little snippet of that on stage. So that'll be fun. And then we have the Lainey Wilson tribute, the Morgan Wallen tribute band, and then closing out our night on Saturday is Randy Rogers. So we have a fun-filled weekend of music this weekend.
For 3 years, I've wanted to see Randy Rogers in Harlingen. And, people always think, oh, Norma gets whatever she wants. No, I don't. It's always, there's a committee. People talk about this. It's not, what does Norma want? It's what does the community want? And finally, the
stars
aligned.
aligned.
Stars aligned.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited about it. And I am a big Tejano fan too. So I'm excited. I know all my family is excited because, again, I think Tejano is something that's really special here in the RGV, here in Harlingen. I know Freedom Fest is packed year after year because we get those Tejano stars to come out and, the crowd goes wild. It's so much fun. And this is going to be one of those nights. I know that there's a lot of buzz around town. We're so excited. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited that we have our celebrity guest here.
Our first ever celebrity interview, Mayor.
Yes, in the building. What do you feel about that, Cassandra?
I'm ready because I just think that I know that he has a really nice story to tell, and we need to be spreading success stories from the city of Harlingen. And he is one, and we're going to get to know him a little bit better. We want the audience to connect with him, to really bring meaning to the show on Friday night. Something about Riofest, it was para la familia. It was for everybody to come out. It was for everybody to enjoy. That's why we really did a low price point on the tickets, and we did kids 13 and under are free also, because we don't want to have any reason why you can't come in on Friday and Saturday and really just make memories with your family,
Right.
make connections with the music. Everybody says, I was there when Selena was there. I saw her. I saw Jennifer Pena. Or I saw a certain band, right? And you can make these memories now with your children. And I think
Right.
it's going to be so exciting. It's so exciting for the people that grew up going to Rio Fest. Even in our office, they'll say, my art was in Rio Fest, and my mom still has it. And my mom doesn't have it because she threw it away. But a lot of people I see out, and they say, thank you so much for doing this for the community. And it really is something that the community wanted, right? We want something that represents Harlingen, that represents art, music, culture. We're able to shine a light on positivity. We're able to shine a light on, hey, we can bring big bands here, and we don't use sales tax while doing it. We do
Or
it.
property tax.
No. Oh my goodness, that'd be crazy.
None of those things. Not here.
We do it because we know that it will attract people to come and
Right.
stay in Harlingen. Just shine a positive light on everything that we're doing. We meet with the hoteliers monthly, and they're all really happy that we're doing events of this nature. And that's who we represent. We have to spend their money correctly. Not only me, but we put it to the comptroller. We uploaded our finances
Right.
to the comptroller.
There are all these rules
Yes,
and regulations.
there are a lot of rules. The Texas two-step is what they call it. So the event that you have has to directly impact hotel night stays, right? So we do have an attorney, and the attorney will say, actually, this event does not meet the requirements anymore. And maybe that's why you see like Parks is hosting that event now, or maybe that event does not exist anymore, maybe because it ran its course, or because, we do need to follow the Texas two-step rule. And one of them that's really a big deal is that we cannot pay for fireworks. So CVBs in Texas are not allowed to pay for fireworks. It's just part of the rules. And so Parks Department does. So we're always
our sponsors.
Yes, the Parks Department always has to have a little earmark, right, for the 4th of July, because the CVB cannot pay for that type of event. So it's really important for the community to know we do this to market the city of Harlingen, to showcase everything we have to offer.
Which is really important because I know, I have a son, right, that's 21, and they are super focused on all these up and coming artists that are like, they're, to be able to book them, we just don't have the
Correct.
budget to do it. And we don't want to utilize funds that are not specifically targeted for tourism and for these types of events. Could we? I don't. Maybe there's a workaround, but that's not something that we're interested here in Harlingen because we've got a lot of needs, right? We have a lot of issues. We have a lot of improvements. We've got our plan in place, and those monies. We don't have enough for all the things that we want to do for the community in terms of infrastructure and things of that nature. And so it's important for us to be able to celebrate, have these events, while simultaneously being responsible and making sure the general fund is taking care of those general maintenance and operation and expenses and improvements and building the future that we want for Harlingen. But that doesn't mean we don't get to have fun, right? And we do that with Visit Harlingen. And I just want to commend you on using your budget and stretching it to give the best show for our community. And that is what makes it really special, is that you try really hard. I know that it's months and months of planning and all these different ideas and thoughts, and then dealing with so many different people, and it's hard to put all together, but you guys do an amazing job year after year with all of your events, and this isn't going to be any different. I know it's going to be special. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful, and I'm super excited. And so I want to kind of just jump into our next segment because it's so important. I don't know how y'all were able to do it. I know people expect me to have a magic wand, but I didn't get this next celebrity guest secured. It was y'all. So thank you. The city of Harlingen thanks you. And let's just get into it and invite our special guest. What do y'all think?
Yes,
Let's do it.
we're ready. We're going to talk with the lead singer of Siggno. His name is Jesse Turner from Harlingen. The mayor and I have a really exciting interview. Edgar joins us. We really wanted it to be a real true conversation with a headliner of Friday, September 26th at Riofest. Tickets are still available, and check out our interview.
And now we are thrilled to welcome a very special guest. He grew up right here in Harlingen, and this Friday night he'll be headlining Riofest. Jesse Turner of Siggno. Jesse, welcome to Let's Talk Harlingen.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's truly an honor to be here. I was born in Valley Baptist Medical Center. I was raised in a small city outside of Harlingen that's also home to me, which is Santa Rosa, Texas. But even when we lived in Santa Rosa, the place to come to was Harlingen. And I have very fond memories of being here. And now I live here, so I'm a resident of the city of Harlingen, Texas.
We love that. What's without telling us exactly where, because we want people to go into your house, of course. What side of town do you live on? The west side, east side?
I don't know. It's going towards Stewart, and you make a right.
Okay.
In that area, it's all growing.
Yes.
Where they build, they're building on that area. I live somewhere around
In that area.
Yeah, in
So
that
you
area.
and I are maybe kind of neighbors because I live out in that area. So that's District 5. It's the west side of town where everything is growing. As a matter of fact, they're doing that Starbucks that just opened.
Yeah.
And I
can't wait.
I went today.
It's open?
It's open.
Oh, it's open already?
Yes. So you got to go. And I think it's a secret because not a lot of people were there and they haven't done, it's kind of like a soft opening.
Okay.
But yes, it's open, it's ready to go, and all that area is developing.
I'll tell you this much. I like going bike riding and I like jogging or running around the country club, the old country club.
Oh, nice.
So, I live-
Yeah, so that's 3 miles, right?
It's exactly
yes.
3 miles.
Yes, yes.
That's exactly
So-
3 miles.
People that live on the west side and Harlingen natives know that you can go to the country club and you can run or walk or bike, and it's 3 miles. Now it's so
Nice.
much so that now that they require you to have like reflective gear, they give you a ticket.
Oh,
in
wow.
Palm, and that's
And everything's
Palm Valley.
growing that way. I believe they're building they just built a McDonald's
Yes.
and next to Ramsey's, and I believe they're building like, what is it, an HEB, Walmart or something like that?
It's
Carniceria.
it's a border town. It's it's a supermarket on Wilson, and then there is some, I'm not sure. I don't know if we can reveal all the things, but yeah, there's definitely lots of growth in that area. Jesse Turner in the know. Who do you know?
I know.
I know everybody.
I mean, I think that's wonderful for our listeners and for our viewers to know. Not only are you this an accomplished singer, really well known throughout, not just in the RGV, but really your music. I think you've got a couple of Latin Grammys. Isn't that right?
I've been a Grammy and Latin Grammy nominee. I believe easily over 6 or 8 times, and
Nice.
we won a Grammy in 2008. I'm a 14-time Male Entertainer of the Year. I'm a 15-time Male Vocalist of the Year, and we've been recognized by the state of Texas. We also been recognized by different cities as they've given us our own day. They've given us the flag. They flew the flag over Austin for a day for this year for our 25th year anniversary. We're celebrating 25 years of Grupo Siggno, and we've done a lot of things. We've played at NRG Stadium, broke the record for attendance for Go Tejano Day, and a lot of accomplishments. There's so many, but I don't know. I just try to just stay grounded and not think about. I'm not so much. I don't see myself as somebody that's famous. I just see somebody as somebody that's accomplished my goals. And people think, well, I'm a fan, and I tell them, no, you're my friend, but we just simply haven't met. And our connection is through music and my life experiences. I've written easily over 100 songs, and I've had multiple number one hit songs, and they've all been personal experiences. And I'm excited to share the Signal story, or my life story, with you guys here at Riofest. It's been a very long time that we perform at Riofest. I can't remember the last time that we performed there, but it's been years and years and years ago, and I think we've only performed there once. And I want to say that there's a big difference from back then and today. Today the band is more modern. Today the band is more mature. Today it's back then it was just it was a band, and it was just like show up and play. And today is more like we have 2 tour buses. It's more of a business, but yet it's more organized. We have a team. We have a road crew. We have so much. We have like 23 people on staff. It's a company now, but I still get to do what I love to do, and I don't have to worry about anything anymore. I just get up on stage, and I do what I love to do, which is make music.
That's beautiful. Do you remember attending Rio Fest as a child?
I do. As a matter of fact, I do. I remember seeing Rick Trevino, which he was a country artist that was coming into the scene, and he was singing a song in Spanish. Dante Paya. They had some song like that. And I remember seeing Fama, La Diferencia, and I remember just being a teen and being there. And it was very different back then to what it is today. Mm-hmm. Back then, if you saw the band on a poster, if you saw the band on a cassette or on a CD, there was no social media. So there was more of I need to see them. Yeah. And I want to see them, because all you could do back in the days was hear them on the radio. So me seeing them live, and those were my very fond memories. And I never thought one day I'll be performing on that stage, but here I am many, many years later, being able to say that I'll be performing at Riofest.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you as our headliner for Friday night. And so I know you said you performed at Riofest before, and also you attended Riofest. So I think that just makes it that much more special for us to have you there with us on Friday night.
No, and it's just as meaningful to me. It's you got to understand something. Like when any band plays at home, this is where all your friends are at. This is where your family's at. You know, my family's, most of them live in Santa Rosa, Texas, but Harlingen has always embraced me. Not that Santa Rosa has it, but Harlingen is just so much bigger. I've done so much in Harlingen than I would have been able to do in Santa Rosa, because Harlingen is such a huge city, and it's such a huge community. So a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I know are here in Harlingen. So being home in Harlingen is like being in Santa Rosa. Anybody that's in Santa Rosa is going to come to Harlingen. Anybody that's from La Feria is going to come to Harlingen. Anybody that's from San Benito, they're going to come to Harlingen, because one, they're my friends, and we have fans everywhere we go. And even though we're I'm from Harlingen, I represent the whole Rio Grande Valley, and I wear Harlingen and Santa Rosa right here on my sleeve. I'm very proud to always say I live in Harlingen, but I was raised in the city of Santa Rosa, Texas.
That's awesome. We recognize that here in the city. I know we have our chamber, the Greater Chamber of Harlingen. They've changed their name, in fact, to Greater Chamber of Harlingen to incorporate all the smaller cities in our community, because really we are like one community. People live in Santa Rosa, work in Harlingen.
Yeah.
They come and shop here. They come eat, have dinner here.
Yeah.
Same thing for all of the smaller communities. And so
Very true.
we recognize that, and we are so excited about Riofest, because I know that it's going to be very special for all of the citizens of the Rio Grande Valley, because they get to see one of their own perform. And it isn't something that happens every day, right? And because you are everywhere, you're everywhere. And we have that opportunity to have you here. And I know that there's, like we were talking before we got started, there's a lot of buzz. I don't think that in the past that I've had so many people reach out saying, I want to be there. And I think it's because of you and what you bring, and you just make it that much special for the community. But I think what people want to know is what got you, you said as a little kid that you went to Rio Fest and you never envisioned yourself up on stage. What was it that gave you your break? How did you get into music? How did Grupo Siggno become such a, household name?
It all started with the dream. I come from a very poor family. So to whoever's watching this, I hope that this inspires you. We lived on the outskirts of Santa Rosa, not even in Santa Rosa. And today I am 47 years old, but when I was a kid, I was considered poor because of what we had. Our house didn't have any insulation. We didn't have warm water. We had an outhouse, which is like a restroom outside that was just a hole, but it had a little house. We didn't have a shower. We just had another little room outside, and we would take a bath with the hose. And in the time of winter, my mom would warm up the water, and we would sit on what you called as a bathtub, which is back in the days you would wash your clothes on this tub. And I would sit on it, or we would sit on it, warm up the water, and we would take a bath like this with the cup, and try to measure the temperature of the water. And when I stop and think about it, I don't ever remember being poor, because my mom made me feel like the richest kid in the world. She gave me love, and that's all that mattered. I used to play her pots and cans, and she would get after me. And she said, "Ay, muchacho," she goes, "Me estás destruyendo las sartenes." She'd say, "Me estás destruyendo los sartenes." And then, but she loved me, and she wanted me to just be free, and I was. The dream started in church. I wanted to just make music at church. So they used to call me El Niño de los Botes. They used to call me the kid of the pans, because I would take pots and pans to church and I would play them, because we couldn't afford a drum set. Then the church loved it so much that one day, first of all, my mom and my dad bought me a Muppet Baby drum set. But in buying that Muppet Baby drum set, I destroyed it, because they weren't made. They weren't made to really stand like
Be banged on.
Yeah, they
To
they
really
weren't.
play.
Yeah, and us kids, like, we want to like hit hard. So they bought me my first drum set from the flea market, and it was a drum set that didn't even make sense, because it was different colors and it didn't have all the parts. But to me, I was in heaven. As time went by, when I was 7, my dad passed away, and it was just me and my mom. So making music was always an outlet for me. It was a way for me to escape. And in my teens, I this is very deep, but I also think it's very important. I wanted to know where my dad was at. My dad had passed when I was 7, and I was a confused young man. And I never turned into drinking or partying or doing drugs. I was more of a very emotional young man. So once again, I turned to music, and little by little, that kind of started disappearing. And then when I became a teen, I fell in love for the very first time, and I thought I had met the love of my life, which was the girl that I was with for 4 years. We went our own ways, and I remember being at my mom's knees, crying to her, telling me, "Mom, but why did she leave me? She was the first love of my life," and not realizing that the first love of my life was actually my mom. She was standing right across me. So it was in that moment where I didn't want to hurt myself anymore. It was in that moment where God gave me the ability to be able to write what I feel. And so I started writing music. I started hearing patterns of music in my head. Instead of me, instead of me acting on what I felt in my head, I started writing. And therefore begins my journey of my bigger journey of music, because all I did was play drums. And then I picked up the guitar. Then I learned how to play the bass, and I learned how to play the bajo sexto. I learned how to play the accordion. I learned how to play just about every instrument. And then one day I had the opportunity to be recognized by a record label out of Corpus Christi, that was Crown Records, and they asked me if I knew how to if I would write a song for their main artist, which was Ruben Vela. And I said, yeah. I have this one song. And then they heard me sing, and they said, wait a minute, you sing? And I said, yeah. They said, do you have a band? And I just had my friends from church. And very, very strangely, right, just a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, I got to see all of them all over again, because one of my friends' mom passed. So we got to take the same picture that we took from the poster that we had. And it was like a full circle of for me of a time frame, right? But I began to write music based out of pain, out of pain, but also happiness. I started writing music based on of the things that I desired, on the dreams that I wanted, and everything was very real, very raw. And we've had nothing but success. We're celebrating 25 years of Siggno, and we get to celebrate those 25 years with you guys here at Riofest. So it's been a very long journey, but it's been a good one, and I wouldn't change anything for it. And the majority of my memories have been here in Harlingen, in Santa Rosa. Harlingen offered a lot of little small businesses, a lot of little locations where we were able to start, and they offered us our first paychecks that were for like $250. And today, that has changed. And I never thought that writing songs, I never thought that for not once in my head did I say it, one day I'm going to become famous. I never thought one day I'm going to hear a multitude of thousands of people sing my song. I never thought one day I'm going to be singing for 110,000 people in the city of La Ciudad de Mexico at El Foro Sol, where they have Formula One. I never thought I'd be at NRG Stadium having broken the record for Go Tejano Day at NRG Stadium, where the Texans play. I never thought of playing in California, Chicago, in front of thousands of people, Florida. I never thought of many things, but anything is possible as long as you really do follow your dreams. And everything has been based off of opportunities. Yeah, you need an education. Out here in the real world, even in music, you need an education. For the young people that are watching me, don't just think that it's just making music. If you're into sports, don't just think it's just sports. Don't let your heart, fool you from what sometimes is reality. And your heart will tell you you're an amazing football player, you're an amazing singer, you're an amazing this, you're an amazing that. but the heart will only, the heart's what guides you and what drives you, but your mind is your knowledge is what's going to help you accomplish that, and working together. It's not, dicen, es que es puro corazón. Yeah, your heart will guide you, but you have to put the work behind it. Everything they teach you in school today are tools that you're going to need for the real world, because the real world is cruel. The real world won't forgive you. And out in the real world where you study to do something great, other people are studying to take away from you. So you have to be very well prepared. And I wasn't the brightest kid in school. I wasn't. Mathematics was very difficult for me, algebra, geometry. But I realized that I need those tools today. I run a company where we run with a lot of money, and we need budgets, and we need planning, and all these things are important. Economics is also plays an important part in our in our in our music entertainment, and in our business. Economics, who's in office also matters. It affects us. It affects our economy. If the economy's not doing good, it's also affecting the bands. You would think it doesn't affect the band. It does affect the band. If we're going through a recession, if we're going through an economic crisis, the bands are also paying for it. So it's very important when they tell you, go out and vote, go out and look for the people that are really going to help, like the mayor. It's very important to be involved. And I've been one of those that everything matters to me today. And everything that I've done has gotten us to the point to where we're at today.
I have a question. You did mention that you played a lot of instruments. Was that self-taught?
Self-taught.
Or all of them?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, self-taught. Well, God showed me the way. I always just say I'm just an instrument of God. I picked up all the instruments because I was a very sad boy. I was a sad boy because I always wanted to know where my dad was at. I was, I felt at times lonely. And looking back, right, because my mom is no longer with us. She passed 3 weeks ago. And looking back, not today, but years back when I was a little bit more mature, I would always wonder why my mom wouldn't show up to the football games to see me for band. I would wonder why my mom wouldn't show up to a lot of things, and it was because my mom was from Cerrito, San Luis Potosí. And she became an American citizen, but my mom didn't know how to read. She didn't know how to write. She knew how to read to a certain level. Her education was not a very great education. And so I came to realize that my mom didn't go because my mom didn't know what to do. She wouldn't know how to go through a hallway in the high school or go to the games, and she wouldn't be able to understand anything. And my mom was very shy and very timid, and I realized that later. So for me, my mom was my driving force in everything that I did and everything that I still do. Not that long ago, if you go look on my social media, I've been trying to find reason and purpose, because when you lose someone, you feel like a big part of you is gone. And my purpose here in life is to continue my positivity. Just here, maybe about 4 or 5 days ago, I went and sang to a young lady named Sophia. She's 9 years old. I don't know if she'll get to be 10, but she asked if I would go sing for her in the city of Houston, Texas, and I took my guitar, and all she wanted to hear was Mama. She wanted to hear the song I wrote for my mom. And Dios me dio la fuerza. God gave me the strength to go over there, sing it for her, and bring her some peace and some comfort and some smiles and some very difficult moments. And that's my reason and my purpose in life. And, when you say people are excited, everybody's been hurting with me these last couple of weeks. And everybody wants to be there with me even more because they're my friends. They're my family. My mom was also a very big part of Harlingen because she would come over here all the time. Everybody would tell me they would see her at HEB and they would just hug her. And Harlingen is just, to me, is just like Santa Rosa. It's right here in my heart. I'm not a band that's traveling from somebody. I'm not a band that's traveling from a different city. With all respect to the ones that are coming, no, I'm not traveling anywhere. I'm home, and I'm glad to be home, and I'm glad, and I'm hoping that all my friends and my family, that they can join us on this on this very special show, because these last couple of shows have been very emotional, but a lot of people have been showing a lot of support, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to sharing my musical journey, my musical story with you guys at Riofest.
That's beautiful. I really admire you because, we here at the city, I get an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And most of the time, the best, and you probably feel the same way, is when you talk to the younger generation and just students at different schools and events,
Mm-hmm.
And trying to encourage them to, to chase their dreams, to, that it doesn't, your circumstances or how you grew up or where you grew up do not define you, that you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you with heart and strength, and
Mhm.
you have to have a little bit of confidence in there too.
Absolutely.
But my message to young people is always, if you want to go away to school, fantastic. You want to go to school here, fantastic. You want to chase whatever dream that is, then that's great. But come back home.
Yeah.
Come back home, because this is really this is a community that raised you.
Absolutely.
This is a way that you give back, and to know that you can live anywhere and you choose to live in Harlingen, that means a lot. It means a lot, I'm sure, to your fans, to the people of Harlingen, to this community, and also to your family.
Absolutely. In Santa Rosa, it's such a small town, right? I know we're talking about Harlingen, but I want to tell you something about Santa Rosa, which I want to come back to Harlingen. In Santa Rosa, I remember everybody always used to say, I hate Santa Rosa. I can't wait to get out of here. I can't wait to leave, which is, I'm sure, at some certain level, people say the same thing about Harlingen. Can't wait to get out of here. I hate Harlingen. But wait a second. I tell people, wait a second. I don't hate Santa Rosa. You got to remember one thing, for those of you that are watching. Santa Rosa is just a name, and so is Harlingen. It's the people that live in it that give it light. It's the people that go out from Harlingen and leave and make the city beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I make my city beautiful. I make Harlingen beautiful because I live here. I've gone out, I've done so much, and we're the ones that Harlingen is just a name. It's the people that live here. It's the community. It's the people that want to see it grow. It's the people that want to do good within the city. It's the people that keep making Harlingen great. This is what gives Harlingen light. It's what gives it a name. It's just a name. It's what you want to do with your life. It's what are you willing to accomplish to be able to say, I'm going back home, and I'm going back proud. Because no matter where you go, if you were born and raised here, I promise you that this is where it all started, and this is where you're gonna want to come back.
I love that. I think so. With Cassandra and I, something that we do is we put on events for the city. And I think what's so special about putting on events for the city is that you get to shine a spotlight, right, on your community and where you're from in a positive way. And I love that you just said that, because that's one of the reasons why I got into hosting events and doing things like that, because you get to put a spotlight in a positive way. So
Absolutely.
I really like that.
Thank you.
And I really love your story about, getting started and going to church and having those opportunities, and really, working through pain and loss and
It's very hard.
everything through your music. And not everybody has an outlet like that. Not everyone is blessed, because you really have to be. And nobody wants to hear me sing. I don't know how to play an instrument, but I can imagine that is something for you that helps you and just really helps you get through things. And that
Absolutely.
is, I think that's a wonderful message for those that are aspiring to do what you do. And I did a little bit of homework on you, and I was talking to Cassandra, and I thought something that was really, to me, that stood out is that you're wanting to really keep Tejano alive. You know, it has gone through so much. I mean, I just turned 49 like a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah,
I hate
I'm
to
2 years behind.
yeah, I hate admitting it, but you know, I am of the generation that Tejano was, you know, for our generation, that was the music to listen to,
That was
right?
the music from Riofest.
For real, right? And when we have Freedom Fest, we have Tejano singers, and it gets packed. Like it, our community loves Tejano music, but you are taking it a step further and trying to foster that with the younger generation. And you have, I think it's called JT Entertainment. Is that right? Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that?
Well, JT Entertainment, we have bands under our company. Right now, we've kind of slowed down on that because of the way things have going. Everybody said we kind of just, there was questions of bands wanting to be here, but everybody wanted to go their way. But we're working back on it with my good friend Frank, which is here today, and Yvette. We're working on making this grow for the following year. This year has been rough. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You know, these immigration things that happen and the ICE and all that, it really scared off some of the people that go to our shows. I'm telling you, it affects us.
100%.
It affects all of us. But we've been just moving forward, staying alive, staying relevant by making even more music. And all we can continue to do is be positive. And JT Entertainment is basically, I have my company. And if there's talent out there and if we can find talent, we'll offer them an opportunity to come and work with us. Not so much with Signal, but so much as I believe in the young people. I believe in people's dreams. And if I can make it happen, if I can help them, then I have a team behind me that we're willing to invest into your talent. And that's one thing about us. But really, JT Entertainment has really been focused right now on Grupo Siggno and Lucky Joe. Those are the only two bands that I have right now. Prior to this, I worked together with Jennifer Peña. I worked for a small period of time with A.B. Quintanilla. I worked with a lot of other bands. And we still work together, but it's more of my company. What they do is we put shows together. We work with different cities, and we put on events, kind of like what Frank Menchaca's doing, But this is why we're working together. We've been talking a lot, and it's about coming together. And how can we help? How can we help our music scene right now? How can we make this grow? Well, this is we're off to a good start through some very difficult times in our economy. I say this from my personal opinion, right? But we're here to get away from the stress, get away from the problems, get away from all your worries. Signal is just not a Signal show. When you come see Signal, you better bring your feelings and you better bring your heart, because you're going to find yourself singing. You're going to find yourself crying. You're going to find yourself jumping up and down. You're going to feel inspired. It's not just music. It's the message behind the song. I can start off with Mejor Dímelo. Mejor Dímelo is about being in a relationship. Two people that really don't love each other, but they're just so used to being with each other. And neither one of them wants to say, I'm not in love with you anymore. People live that, and people can connect with that. The song that I wrote for my mom, Mama, it's a song that everybody's connected to right now, because everybody saw me grow with my mom, and everybody wants to hear me sing it, and everybody's feeling my pain. So everybody wants to be there, and they've lost their moms, or they have such a profound love for their mom that when I sing this song, it pierces right into their heart, and it takes them and it travels into it transports them to a certain moment in their lives. When we play songs about love, ¿qué harías? It makes you just want to hug the person next to you. When we play cumbias like Celosa or La Otra Tú, it makes you want to jump up and down and dance. And Signo, when we first started, it didn't have a lot of meaning. It was just a name that we found in the dictionary, and we added an extra letter G. because there was 6 of us, and it was Siggno. Cool, sounds cool. And it really didn't have a name. It really didn't have a meaning. It was just a name. But Siggno today stands for a sign. What does Siggno represent? Our music represents a sign of love, a sign of the emotions that the heart carries, of the struggles that we've been through, and that you're going to go through as well. But the purpose of us having struggles is for us to get back up. The reasons for us to be on the floor one day and be down and out and depressed is for us to get right back up. When you're at the very bottom, the only other place you can go is back up. And we're that driving force. That's what Siggno stands for, and it's what it represents today.
I think that from what we've learned today is that you've evolved as a man, and your group has evolved so much. And it would be really nice to see, where you started off at playing Riofest those many moons ago, to see how you've evolved to the group and the man that you are today, and that your fans are still with you. That maybe
Absolutely.
it would be really nice. Maybe somebody could comment, like, if they ever saw you at your first show,
I don't think they're going to remember, because I when I did play at Riofest, I believe it's one of those times where I had an early time slot. But to be able to say that we're going to close,
I was gonna
The
say
evolve
not
you.
Friday. You are closing the
Yeah.
night.
to be able to say that, and with all due respect, because I want everybody to know that I did tell La Mafia's people that if they wanted to close it, we're more than welcome to. But we're just such good friends that it's not really closing or opening. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do on, let's put on a good show for the community. A lot of people didn't even know that La Mafia was coming. I'm like, yeah, they're coming, and they're very good friends of ours. I'll probably get up and sing a song with Oscar.
Oh,
nice.
that would be
That's
fantastic.
We've done it before, and Oscar's a very good personal friend of mine. La Mafia, they're very good personal friends of mine. So, I mean, La Mafia is, they're still, I don't mean it in a bad way, but La Mafia represents a lot of our past. The 80s, the 90s, 2004. And in that time, Siggno was born. Because of La Mafia, Siggno's here. And to be able to share the stage with them is truly a blessing, and it's truly an honor. And I can't wait. A lot of people don't know, hey, I don't know if it's get your tickets. I don't know what it's
Yes.
like.
Yeah, get your ticket.
Get your tickets, because it's going to be a show for the books. And I don't know, and I say this with the most love and respect, I don't know if I'll be back to Riofest. I haven't been back in Riofest since 15, 16 years ago. I don't know. But because it's this time in 2025, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to do it for my friends, for my family. I'm going to do it for my mom. I want her to be proud, no matter if she's not here physically, but in spirit, she's with me everywhere I go. So it's very meaningful to me. It's not just a show. It's more than that to me on a personal level. So I'm going to make sure to give you 100% of myself, 100% of Grupo Siggno. You're not going to regret it. You're going to go home feeling you're going to go home like if you just came from church. You're going to go home feeling very happy. You're going to have your cup filled, whatever anxieties, whatever problems you had. I promise you that you're going to have a good time.
I think it is definitely going to be a sold out show.
I just got the chills
People
on
are
that.
excited. I'm excited. And I think that before we wrap up, I think for our listeners and our viewers, it would be really special if we could hear just a little of what's to come at Riofest. And your guitar has just been looking at me this whole time. And I think it would be really special, just a little preview. I don't know what you'd like to play.
What would you like to hear?
Well, I know that this is hard, but just listening to everything that you've said today, and I'm that kind of person that doesn't get real emotional, but I lost my mom too, and it was really, really hard for me. And so I know you said Mama is something that you want to play on Riofest, but I don't know if that's something you'd feel comfortable, or if we should wait and then maybe it's whatever your favorite song.
No, look,
I want to.
no, you want to know something? Look, I'm going through phases in my life, and I'm still grieving, but I have my mother's strength in me. I have my mother's beliefs in me, and I'm able to sit here and go through things because we don't bury people in the ground. My mom is speaking through me. My mom sees the world through me, and I'll be more than happy to sing my mom's song. It's for everybody that's out there. I will remind the people that are out there. I want to tell you something. Don't wait until your mom is gone. Don't wait until dad is gone. Don't wait until your sisters are gone. Forgive them. Mom and dad, what do they want? They want for you to be united. They want you to stick together, not to be fighting. Once they leave Earth, the only heaven you're gonna find is the heaven that you'll find in your family. And again, this song I wrote it when maybe about 13 years ago. I wrote it because I was scared that I was gonna lose my mom. I was that scared of losing my mom. But then 12 years passed, and God gave her to me for 12 more years. And although I sit here heartbroken, I also sit here in faith, knowing that one day I'll be reunited with my mom. So my mom used to call me mi pedacito de pan tostado, People say, ay, mi gordo. Oh, ay, mi flaca. What did your mom call you?
My mom Casita, like, because my name is Cassandra, so Casita.
Well, there you go. We all had nicknames. Or at least, what did your mom call you?
I don't even want to share.
No, tell us.
I grew up in one of those households where, I was the darker skinned girl in the
Prietita.
household. Or India, or
man.
yeah, like I didn't have good
Nombre estás bien blanca.
Vispa. My dad used to call me
You
Vispa.
died, and you?
Probably gordo.
Gordo de dónde? From where? But yeah, so you know what? If you're out there and you're watching, don't wait until tomorrow to call your mom as much as you can. Call your dad as much as they can. I went the other day to go see my son. He was in an accident in the year 2016 here in Harlingen. Today he's in a nursing home. I see a lot of parents. I see a lot of older folks there, and they're going through struggles. And I see this with the kindest light. I don't see a lot of visitations. Don't forget about them. Don't forget them. Go visit them. They might have dementia. They might have Alzheimer's. They might not remember anything. But remember, when you speak to them, you're not speaking to your mom or your dad anymore. You're speaking to the sickness that they have. And you just got to see beyond that. And you just got to be grateful for what you do have. So my mom would call me mi pedacito de pan tostado. Whenever we would fall down, Mom would pick us up and she would say, sana, sana colita de rana. Que no, si no se te quite hoy, que se te quite mañana. So when I was small, my mom would say, ay, mi pedacito de pan tostado. She'd grab me from my face and she'd say that. And then when I was 15, 16 years old, I thought I had found the love of my life. But no, the love of my life was always going to be my mom. But yet there I was, Mom, encontré el amor de mi vida. I found the love of my life. No, it was always going to be my mom. The one thing that I wish for is I wish I would have gotten married before she left. But it just wasn't meant to be, And it's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm at peace today. And then the last part is saying goodbye to your mom, which is the hardest thing to do. But the middle of the song is the most important. It's a prayer for mom and all moms. It's gratitude, and it's saying, may God bless you, and may God continue to bless you each and every single day. So this is our one of our greatest hits, still our biggest hits. It's called Mama. Mamá, gracias por todos los besos por la mañana, por todos los sana, sana colita de rana. Hoy cumplo 5 años, te amo tanto, tu pedacito de pan tostado. Mamá, hoy me di cuenta que el amor se convierte en dolor. Y aunque ella no me quiera, tú me vas a querer. Hoy cumplo 15 años, te amo tanto, gracias por ser mi amiga. Mamá, encontré a la mujer que siempre había anhelado. Hoy me caso, pero nunca miré de tu lado. Aunque no duerma en casa, sé que me vas a dar tu bendición, madre. Y eres todo en mi vida, te amo con toda el alma. Mi regalo del cielo eres tú, tan hermosa. Que Dios te cuide y te bendiga siempre. Madre, te amo con toda la fuerza que hay en mi vida. Mi razón para luchar todos los días, desde lo más profundo de mi corazón. Gracias, pedacito de pan tostado. Mamá, desde hoy no sé qué voy a hacer sin ti. Sé que estás en el cielo y que algún día te volveré a ver. Aquí te extrañaré. Te amo. Tu pedacito de pan tostado. Oh, oh. Thank you so much.
So much
That was
for not getting
beautiful.
emotional.
It's you know, I'm still, again, it's fresh for me. But whenever I do sing, you know, I feel my mom's strength in me. I feel her trying to help me get by. It's hard. She was my best friend. She was everything to me. And she still is. It's just hard looking at my phone and not being able to call her. It's hard. It's hard grieving. And yet, you know, I still have the strength to come here and yet be a friend to everybody and say hello, because my mom wouldn't want it any other way. I didn't have any plans to talk about that subject, right? But it lets people know that we're alike and we're not different. You know, we all go through the same emotions in life. At one point, you know, at one point we're all gonna feel the same, or we've gone through the same. And so how do we get by? One thing is music. Music is therapy. And I'm gonna completely change, the subject, because I don't want to get too emotional, right? But I can't wait to be at Riofest. I can't wait to share just what you heard here, but imagine with a bigger production. We recently did a song called Amarillo by Morning with Aaron Watson.
Nice.
We worked together on a new single with collaborations that are coming up, which is we worked together with Grupo Solido. We've done so much. Oh, you know what? So this will be the first time I say this story, but next month, which will be October 29th, is my mom's birthday. My grandma passed the 5th of August on a Monday. 3 weeks later, on a Monday, my mom passed. It's like my grandma and my mom left together. My mom was sad over my grandma, and they left together. So when I was in San Luis, I wrote a song for my grandma, not knowing, because the song talks about a grandma and a mom. And I was writing it for my grandma on behalf of my mom, where I ended up writing the song and I sang it to my grandma, but yet it fit me perfect as my mom just left. So that song will be available for my mom's birthday on October 29th. I'm sad, but I'm excited because, again, music heals, and it really does. If you allow it to, music heals, music helps. Writing music to me has been therapeutic. And but you're going to get to hear all the songs that have made us. Ya no me importa, Auxilio, Mejor dímelo, Que no me busque. Man, it at the beginning of the year when we started writing down the songs, we're like, this one was number 1 too, right? At first, I remember the very first year, we're like, well, we only have one hit song, so the rest we got to do covers, songs from other bands. And today is like, man, we've had so many hit songs that some of them have to stay out, and we'll have to do them next year. So
Another Riofest.
We'll have to do it in the encore.
so hopefully this is the first Riofest we get to do with you guys, and we'll be back in a couple of years con el favor de Dios. But I want to encourage you to come out. You want to remember those old La Mafia songs? Come on. Vida yo te ha dado más en lo que yo respiro. I mean, all those songs. Vives dentro de mí, en el alma te siento. Like all those songs, you're gonna get to hear by La Mafia. You're gonna get to hear all the songs of Grupo Siggno. But most importantly, I think that you're gonna get to have an experience like none other. I promise you. These last couple of shows they've been very meaningful, and especially through what I'm going through, it makes me more colorful, even though I see the world in black and gray. It makes me colorful. It makes me light up, knowing that I'm going to give you the best of Siggno. The guys are excited, and I know it's one sad song you heard, but all of our song is like, it's filled with energy. Yes. It's filled with lights. It's filled with it's a production. My dream was to have one bus. Today we have 2. Looking at a third one last night. We were looking at a third one.
He's helping the economy just how we help the economy, right?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, please help us.
Yes.
And I think things will get better, but we just have to,
Keep going.
We have to keep going, and we have to keep voting, for the right people, to do the right decisions for what's best for Harlingen. And I'm happy. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm happy to share parts and bits of my life and my story. And hopefully you'll see a full book of my life in the form of songs come this Friday night here at Riofest.
Well, this has been, I think, probably the most informative
Yeah,
podcast that
episode that we've
episode that
had.
we've had. This is just really giving our viewers, giving the citizens of Harlingen and of obviously all of the Rio Grande Valley just a little insight into who you are, because you really are an amazing human being just to even continue in moving forward. You could have easily said, you know what, and everybody would have understood. I'm not going to do this. I got to take some time. But no, you said, I want to be here, and I want to not just be here, but give you 110% out there and put on that show and just, provide this opportunity for the community to kind of grieve with you. And
Absolutely.
that's just phenomenal.
It hurts. It really does hurt. But the moment I get on stage, I find my mom's love in the people that knew her. And I could feel it coming back. For all the years that I gave, I feel the love coming back. So all I can do is just keep giving. Be a good example, be a good son, be a good individual in life, give positive messages. And that's all I'll continue to do. I promise you, this Friday, if you haven't seen Siggno in a while, when's the last time you saw Siggno?
I don't even remember.
Seeing us. You haven't seen us
Yeah.
yet.
That's
Yeah?
I have not. I would not like to
This is
lie.
going to be my first time.
yeah. I was gonna say
You're-
maybe a Riofest that I don't recall or something.
This is going to be my first time, but it's been an honor and a privilege to hear your story and where you came from and everything that you've been through in life. And I think that this Friday at Riofest, I really think it's going to be a strong sense of community. And I really
Absolutely.
feel like your friends are going to come out there. And I really feel like it's going to be an electric show.
It is.
Full of energy and
It
good
is.
vibes.
Yeah.
And I think you're really going to feel that on Friday. And I'm excited
Absolutely.
to watch you on stage Friday
Awesome.
night for the first time.
I'm glad because this is exactly how I want to shine in Harlingen, Texas. And that way, when I'm done performing, you can say, that guy lives in Harlingen, Texas.
Yeah.
We're already,
Love it.
we
Yes,
are already
we do.
saying that. We are so excited. We want everybody to, this is usually Cassandra's part. I'm gonna punt it over to you, but we really need to really get people out
Yes.
and where can they get their tickets?
Yeah, so we can buy our tickets at harlingenriofest.com. Right now, they're $10 a day, so you need to sign up and get it. The general admission ticket gets you into the baseball field, which we have vendors. We have Mexican artisans coming from Mexico. We have tons of things to do for the kids. We have food, and we have we have 2 beer gardens, actually. I like to point that out for the people so they
Just in
know
case.
that they can go to 2 places to get that. And then we're going to have the best concert. We're going to have the community represented on the stage. We've learned so much about you today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of us are going to have a really connection to you. And it's just going to
Awesome.
make that much of a difference for us to see you on stage after we really got to know you as an
you.
artist and as a human today. And we're so thankful that you were able to come and join us in person
Absolutely.
and to show us your story from you.
Thank you. I can't believe the tickets are $10. Hey,
Well, it's para
No,
la
no,
familia.
I
It's for
know,
everybody.
and it's great. That's where I was going to, because
Right.
if you go see Signal by yourself somewhere else, it's gonna be $40-$50. Hey, this is an opportunity for you to bring your children, right? Are they allowed?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
This is a family event.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the teens, bring the kids. I promise you that they're gonna get inspired. I want you to bring them the next Jesse Turner, and go to Riofest and say, one day, I want to be there. And maybe one day, years later, they'll be able to say, I saw Jesse Turner, I got inspired. I saw La Mafia, I got inspired. And here I am many years later doing a different type of podcast.
I love it.
Thank you so
Nice.
much, Jesse. Well, we're going to see you on the stage at 7 o'clock.
No.
Actually,
9.
I'm sorry.
No.
We're
No.
going to see you
Let's-
on the stage at 9
9
o'clock.
Nine, but
Well, maybe
closer.
you'll be on the stage with La Mafia.
I
maybe
probably-
maybe a song or two.
I probably will. I really I love the guys from La Mafia. I mean, Oscar's a very good friend of mine. So is Mondo Lichtenberger. Their whole team, we're one giant family in this music industry, and we help each other out. And I promise you, La Mafia's gonna bring it, Signo's gonna bring it, and it's going to be a night to remember. So I believe Riofest continues into Saturday, right?
Yes, it's a
Yes.
2-day event, so,
So I
gotta
know
get out there.
I'm a very fair guy. My good friend Randy Rogers is going to be there Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
So make sure that you go out and support. Again, does the ticket to the $10 also pay for Saturday?
So,
So,
you can
so
get
check
Yeah.
this out. It's $7 to go for one day, and it's $10 to go for both days.
No, hombre, cállate a precio de pulga.
I
A
know.
precio de pulga.
I know. I know.
Queremos
And
que vengan todos.
Todos. And the reason is because really Harlingen, I mean, we are so blessed, and you know, prior to you coming on, we talked a little bit about the CVB and what that does, and you know, people shopping in local, people choosing to stay in Harlingen, to live in Harlingen, to shop in Harlingen, to do business in Harlingen, provides us opportunity with sales tax, people coming to shows and staying in hotels to come watch you sing provides us hot tax money, and all of that money that we collect, we're able to put on these wonderful events and to get the at a price point where everybody feels that they can come. And that's the idea, is that we want everybody from Santa Rosa to Rio Grande City to, you know, Edinburgh
La
Mission,
Feria,
La
yeah,
Feria,
yeah.
everybody to say, you know what, we're going to go to Harlingen. We can take the whole family. We can have a great time. We can eat. We can, there's stuff for the kids. There's a carnival next door. Like, there's just so much to do. And we do that because we do have a great community that pours into our community. And this is a way for the city to put on this great show at a price point where everyone can participate.
I'm
But
excited.
believe it, I still have people saying, what, $10? Like, they want it free. They want it free. But to me, this is free, basically, right?
It is
it's such
free.
an opportunity. Yes. And so there's really no reason why anyone can't participate. I know they had some giveaways too, to give out free tickets and stuff. So it's going to be definitely a sold out event. I think today you coming on and just sharing your story is going to get everyone so excited. Having that little preview, I would not be surprised if, you know, by the end of the day there's no tickets left. So people need
Get
to
on now
get
and buy
on
it.
right now. Get your tickets because
we're gonna get
you
them
have
again?
an amazing show.
HarlingenRiofest.com.
HarlingenRealFest.com. HarlingenRealFest.
That's exactly how Cassandra says that.
I say it all the time. Anywhere I go, I'm like, did you buy your ticket? Please buy your ticket. Because it's easier to buy your ticket online, and then that way you can just get your bracelet and get right
done.
into it gets you into everything. And you don't have to wait to buy it there. No waiting. Just get your ticket now. Get right in. There's a carnival, petting zoo. There's so much to do. And we just want to thank you so much, Jesse. You opened up your heart. You really showed us who you were, and you played for us. And that's our first time here in this building. And I don't know if we're going to be able to top it next week or
That's it.
ever.
You set
I
the
don't
bar
think we'll
really
be able
high.
to top it.
Yeah,
I don't
this
think
is
we'll ever
definitely
be
going to
able
be
to
one
top
of our
it.
top shows.
I'll tell you something. Look, because I'm from Harlingen, and because whenever you need me, just reach out, and even if it's just to talk about other subjects and other things, I not only do I know music, I know a lot of things. But whenever you want to just invite me just to come and talk, I'll be more than willing to come over and say hello whenever you want, since I'm from here.
We
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you,
And we will
Jesse.
definitely take you up on that offer. I just, you know, I think that this show has been really special. I know that you've touched people. I know that, you know, things that you shared here, you didn't have to. And I think that's really admirable that you have done that, because there's young people watching. There might be people that are, you know, struggling with depression, struggling with, you know, anxiety. People, you know, coming from humble beginnings, saying, "Is this possible for me?" I know we had the chief on recently, and he talked also about how he was, you know, how he grew up, and you know, growing up, you know, without much, and then becoming the successful person, and just showing and being an inspiration to those young people that look up to you. So, Jesse Turner, we are forever grateful that you took the
Thank
time
you.
to be here with us today.
Thank you,
We,
absolutely.
you know, you have fans obviously here at the city of Harlingen.
Wrong.
But
I have friends.
you have friends. You have friends. Yes.
No,
And so,
to me, no such thing as friends. I'm sorry, no such thing as fans. I have friends everywhere I go. I just simply haven't had the chance to say hello to some of them. But everybody to me is friends and family.
and everybody gets that hello at Riofest this weekend. So make sure you get your tickets. We want to see you there. Jesse has so much more to share with you. So be there Friday, Saturday. It's going to be a wonderful show, and we will see you at Riofest. That's it for this episode of Let's Talk Harlingen.
If you like what you heard today, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We've got more conversations coming your way. Let's talk again soon, Harlingen.